He who hath ears to hear, let him hear. Matthew 13 verse 9, day 172. 1 Kings chapters 14 through 18. How long halt ye between two opinions? If the Lord be God, follow him. 1 Kings 18 verse 21. Welcome to my daily bread. It's Saturday, June 21st, and today's reading brings us into a dramatic and sobering chapter of Israel's story. We witness prophetic warnings, the unraveling of kings, and finally one of the most powerful showdowns in all of Scripture, Elijah on Mount Carmel. Let's reflect together. 1 Kings 14 opens with a prophecy of judgment against Jeroboam, a king who had led Israel into idolatry. Despite attempts to disguise his guilt, God sees everything, and the word that comes through the prophet Ahijah is devastating. What begins in secrecy ends in exposure. Chapters 15 and 16 show a pattern we can't ignore. King after king did evil in the sight of the Lord. The northern kingdom descends into chaos as leaders reject God's ways and embrace false gods, violence, and corruption. But then, in chapter 17, a voice rises, Elijah the Tishbite. He enters the scene boldly, announcing a drought in the name of the Lord. But then, just as suddenly, God leads him into obscurity, by a brook, and then into the home of a widow. Miracles begin quietly. A jar that never empties, a child restored to life. And then in 1 Kings verse 18, Elijah stands on Mount Carmel, facing hundreds of prophets of Baal. The people of Israel watch, wavering in silence, and Elijah calls them out, "How long will you hesitate between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him." The challenge is clear. 2 altars, 2 prayers, 1 answer. Baal is silent. But when Elijah calls on the name of the Lord, fire falls from heaven, consuming the offering, the altar, the stones, and even the water. The people fall on their faces and cry, "The Lord, he is God." Let's reflect deeper. Are there places in your life where you're halting between two opinions? Do you find yourself torn between pleasing God and pleasing people, between truth and convenience, between conviction and compromise? Like Elijah, are you willing to stand alone for truth? Mountaintop moments often require lonely obedience. Elijah didn't wait for backup. He trusted that the God who provided in private would show up in public. Where is God calling you to rebuild the altar? Before the fire fell, Elijah rebuilt the altar that had been broken down. Maybe God is asking you to repair your worship, your prayer life, your commitment. Do you believe fire still falls? God still answers sincere, wholehearted prayers with his presence and power. But he often waits until the altar is in place. Today, God isn't asking for spectacle. He's asking for surrender. Will you stop wavering and follow him completely? Tomorrow, we'll turn to the Psalms, chapters 72 through 74, where we witness Solomon's prayer for righteous leadership, followed by deep cries for justice and understanding in times of confusion and spiritual decline. Until then, stay faithful, stay focused, and keep returning to the table. There's fresh bread waiting for you every day. If today's reflection blessed you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It helps us spread the word and reach more hearts with God's truth and grace. Tap the bell so you never miss a new devotional. Let's keep growing together. One day, one verse, one fresh word at a time. Thanks for being part of the My Daily Bread family, where the table is always set and the bread is always fresh.